Hey, everybody. Are you ready to dive into a world of passion and skill and maybe even a few controversies?
Ooh, I like that.
We are going deep into the heart of soccer today.
Okay.
And whether you're a seasoned fanatic or just starting to explore the sport,
Right.
this deep dive has something for you.
Soccer truly is a global phenomenon, and I think one of the things that's so interesting about this deep dive is we're exploring not just the game itself, but its history, its cultural impact, and even a peek into its possible futures.
Right.
All thanks to this incredibly insightful book.
Absolutely. This book even tackles questions like why millions dream of scoring that winning goal. We're going to uncover the darker side of this beloved sport, too.
Interesting.
We're even going to explore how soccer could completely transform in the coming years.
Yeah.
So who knows what the future holds?
Well, speaking of history,
Yes.
I was fascinated to learn that soccer, as it's known in some parts of the world,
Right.
actually started as association football. Yeah, it's incredible how a nickname coined by some clever English students over a century ago ended up sticking.
I actually never knew that.
Wow.
But just for clarity's sake, let's talk about what we mean by soccer.
Yeah,
Because there are different kinds of football.
absolutely. We have rugby football and American football,
Right.
each with their own sets of rules and traditions.
Of course.
But when we talk about football on a global scale,
Yeah.
we're talking about soccer.
So what makes soccer stand out?
One of the most appealing things about soccer is its simplicity.
Okay.
There are only 17 rules.
Wow. Sit.
Pretty incredible considering how complex the game can seem.
Right.
All you need is a round ball, a field, 2 teams of 11 players each.
Okay.
And the goal is to get that ball into the opponent's net without using your hands,
Yeah.
except for the goalkeeper, of course.
Yeah, of course.
This simplicity is a big part of why soccer is such a global sport.
Makes sense.
It's easy to understand and play regardless of where you come from.
Yeah, and just to reiterate, it's a 90-minute game
Yes.
with a 15-minute break at halftime.
Right.
I think it's also fascinating that soccer is relatively low scoring.
Yes.
You don't see teams racking up points like in other sports.
Right.
Which I think just adds to the drama and suspense of each match.
For sure.
Every goal feels significant.
Yeah. But let's kick it back in time for a moment.
Okay.
Did you know that forms of football were played in China and Japan almost 2,000 years ago?
Yeah, according to the book, I was shocked to learn that English kings even tried to ban the sport back in the 14th century
Oh, wow.
because they thought it was too dangerous.
Really?
Talk about trying to control the beautiful game.
You can't keep a good sport down.
I guess not.
Speaking of keeping things going, though,
Right.
the book highlights the founding of the Football Association, or the FA, in London in 1863.
This is a pivotal moment.
Absolutely. It formalized the rules and structure of the game,
Uh-huh.
paving the way for professional players, the creation of leagues and international competitions like the World Cup. Wow.
The first World Cup in 1930 had only 13 teams.
That's crazy.
Now we're talking billions of fans worldwide.
Billions.
Yeah, the growth has just been phenomenal.
It really is mind-boggling.
It is.
But it's more than just the game itself.
Yeah.
This source really paints such a vivid picture of what it's like to be a die-hard soccer fan.
Right.
It describes their journey to a big match.
Uh-huh.
Imagine the anticipation, the camaraderie with fellow fans, the energy of the stadium.
It's electric.
It really is.
The sights, the sounds, the
It's
chants.
all so powerful.
It's that feeling of belonging to something bigger than yourself.
Yeah, yes.
Sharing those highs and lows with a community that understands the depth of those feelings.
Right. Whether you're cheering for a local team that you've supported your whole life or your national team on the world stage, that feeling of connection is undeniable.
It is.
But what about the players?
Yeah.
I mean, what's it really like to live that life of a professional soccer player?
This book kind of pulls back the curtain.
Yeah.
It shows us there's not all fame and fortune.
No.
There's pressure demanding physical training,
Yeah.
constant scrutiny.
That too.
It's a world of intense competition
Right.
and the constant risk of injury.
Right.
Careers could be cut short in an instant.
Yeah.
And the media scrutiny can be just relentless. I mean, think about Diego Maradona. He was legend.
Uh-huh.
But he also struggled with the darker side of fame
Yeah.
and the pressures that come with it.
That's right.
And George Best,
Yeah.
who some consider to be one of Manchester United's most naturally gifted players,
Yeah, he was incredible.
sadly faced similar challenges.
Yeah.
He left the sport at the young age of 26.
Hmm.
A reminder that behind those triumphs and accolades are real people
Uh-huh.
grappling with very real challenges.
It is a reality check.
It is.
This book really gets you thinking about that human side of soccer.
Yeah.
The sacrifices these players make and the toll it can take.
It also sheds light on a darker side of the sport.
Yes.
The story of Andres Escobar.
Yeah.
The Colombian player who accidentally scored an own goal in the 1994 World Cup and was tragically murdered afterward.
Wow.
Really highlights those intense pressures and sometimes dangerous consequences that can come with the game.
It's a stark reminder that the passion surrounding soccer can have a dangerous side.
Yeah.
You know, the book also talks about tragedies like crowd disasters fueled by these intense rivalries.
Right.
And even sometimes criminal elements, unfortunately, are a part of soccer's history.
It is a sobering thought.
It is.
And then there's hooliganism,
Right.
which has been a persistent problem,
Yeah.
particularly in England.
Uh-huh.
These issues raise important questions about fan behavior security measures
Yes.
and the responsibility of authorities to ensure everyone's safety.
Right. It's a complex issue. Thankfully, though, steps have been taken to address these problems.
Like what?
Well, like the introduction of all-seater stadiums
Okay.
and increased security measures.
Good.
But, you know, the potential for violence associated with the sport is something that we can't ignore.
But let's shift gears a little bit and look ahead. The book also explores some exciting possibilities for the future of soccer.
Yeah, like what?
One that stood out to me was the rise of African and Asian teams on the global stage.
Oh.
We're seeing a shift in the traditional power dynamics of the sport.
Absolutely. The talent pool in these regions is immense.
Yeah.
And as they invest more in developing their soccer programs, I think we can expect even fiercer competition in the years to come.
It's exciting.
Yeah. It's an exciting time for the global game.
And speaking of exciting, women's soccer has seen just incredible growth and popularity.
Yes.
The skill and athleticism of these players are just inspiring.
Right.
The U.S. women's team has really been leading the charge.
The 1999 Women's World Cup final, where the U.S. defeated China, was a monumental moment for women's soccer.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a sport that's poised for continued growth and recognition.
Yeah.
And who knows, maybe one day soccer will finally take hold in the United States.
It's a dream for many fans, but it's hard to deny that the 1994 World Cup held in the U.S. introduced a whole new generation of Americans to the sport.
It did.
The book talks about that as a potential turning point.
It's certainly possible, especially with the growing youth soccer population in the U.S.
That's true.
And of course, technology is poised to change the game as well.
Right.
Remember how the U.S. team in 1994 used computer analysis to exploit weaknesses in Colombia's game?
It's incredible who knew computers could play such a role in soccer.
It is fascinating how technology is influencing strategy and player development.
We're also seeing the rise of these super clubs and super leagues.
Yes.
Driven by global interest and TV revenue.
Right.
To look at the English Premier League.
Yeah.
It attracts top players from all over the world. The book even hints at the possibility of a global super league one day.
Wow.
It's hard to imagine.
Yeah.
But it raises questions about the future of smaller clubs.
Yeah.
The financial disparities within the sport.
Yeah.
And how to maintain a sense of balance and fairness.
Right. These are all issues that governing bodies like FIFA will have to grapple with as soccer continues to evolve.
Sounds like the future of soccer is full of possibilities, but also challenges.
It does.
We've covered so much ground in this first part of our deep dive.
We have.
From the history to the rules to the challenges to the future.
It's been quite a journey.
It has.
You know, before we move on, I think it's worth reflecting on this idea of super leagues.
Right.
And the increasing influence of money in the sport. It raises concerns about the future of smaller local clubs, doesn't it?
It really does. How do we ensure that soccer remains accessible to everyone, not just the elite?
Yeah, it's a question of preserving the soul of the game while also embracing its evolution.
I think that's a good way to put it.
This book really emphasizes that tension.
Yeah.
The balance between the financial power of these massive clubs and the grassroots spirit of the sport. I think it's a challenge that organizations like FIFA will need to address very carefully.
Right.
How do they reconcile these commercial interests with the integrity of the game?
Good question.
But on a lighter note, I love how this book takes us through a typical match day.
Oh, yes.
From a fan's perspective.
Yes.
It's so vividly written.
It is.
You can almost feel the excitement building.
I know.
As a supporter, makes their way to the stadium,
Right.
putting on your team's colors, joining the crowds heading towards the stadium, maybe even grabbing a newspaper to catch up on the latest news before the match begins.
Oh, yeah.
It's a ritual.
It is. And then you see the stadium lights.
It's electric.
Oh, I know.
The energy is palpable.
Yes.
The closer you get, the more you feel that buzz in the air. You step inside and you're surrounded by thousands of other fans, all united by their love for the team.
This book describes it perfectly, that feeling of being a part of something bigger than yourself.
Right.
Sharing those highs and lows with people who truly understand the passion.
It's true, though. The book also acknowledges that soccer can be both boring and wonderful.
Yeah.
You know, some matches are nail-biters.
Sure.
Others are a snooze fest.
Yeah.
Sometimes the weather's awful.
Right.
Sometimes nobody scores.
That's right. It's part of the beauty of it.
Absolutely.
That unpredictable nature keeps you on the edge of your seat.
It's that roller coaster of emotions.
Yeah.
The shared experience, the sense of community that keeps people coming back for more.
Right.
It's not just about winning or losing.
No.
It's about being a part of something special.
The book makes a really good point about how a soccer team needs more than just good players.
Yeah.
They need passionate supporters to cheer them on.
It's a two-way street.
I like that.
A symbiotic relationship. The players feed off the energy of the crowd.
Right.
And the fans, in turn, are inspired by the players' skill and dedication.
Speaking of players,
Yeah.
this book gives us a glimpse into the life of a professional soccer player.
It does.
And it's not always glamorous, is it?
No, it's not.
There's so much that goes on behind the scenes.
While top players certainly enjoy fame and fortune,
Right?
they also face immense pressure to perform.
Yeah.
They have grueling training schedules,
Oh.
constant travel,
Yeah.
and the ever-present risk of injury.
Not to mention the media scrutiny.
That's right.
Every move they make is analyzed and debated.
Uh-huh.
Their personal lives are often splashed across the headlines.
Yeah, the book does a great job of highlighting the dedication and resilience it takes to thrive in that kind of environment.
It does. And as we touched upon earlier, not all players are equipped to handle the pressures of fame and fortune.
No.
The stories of Diego Maradona and George Best are reminders
Right.
that even the most talented athletes are human.
They are.
Their struggles highlight the importance of support systems,
Yeah.
both within the sport and in their personal lives. The book really humanizes these larger-than-life figures.
It does.
It reminds us that behind the trophies and accolades are real people grappling with the same challenges we all face.
That's right. But on a broader scale,
Okay.
there are some serious issues that soccer as a whole is facing today.
Yeah.
We talked about super leagues and financial disparities.
Right.
But corruption is another problem that continues to cast a shadow over the sport.
It's disheartening to hear about match-fixing bribery and financial irregularities.
It is.
It really undermines the integrity of the game
Yes.
and erodes public trust.
FIFA and other governing bodies have a responsibility to address these issues proactively.
I agree.
Transparency, accountability,
Yeah.
and strong sanctions against those who violate the rules are absolutely essential.
Absolutely. And we can't ignore the issue of racism in soccer.
No, we can't.
It's appalling
Right.
that players still face racial abuse both on and off the field.
It's simply unacceptable.
It is.
Education awareness campaigns
Yeah.
and zero-tolerance policies are crucial for combating racism.
We need to create a culture of inclusivity and respect within the sport,
Yes.
a space where everyone feels safe and welcome.
Exactly. And as we look towards the future of soccer,
Yeah.
I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the potential for rule changes.
Okay.
Do you think there's room for modifications to improve the game?
That's an interesting question.
It is.
This book mentions some ideas like making the goals bigger to encourage more scoring,
Okay.
or even eliminating the offside rule to simplify things.
Hmm.
You know, while I appreciate the desire to make the game more exciting or accessible,
Right.
I believe we need to be cautious about altering the fundamental rules of soccer.
I agree.
Its simplicity is part of what makes it so universally appealing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
However, I do think there might be room for subtle tweaks or adjustments.
Like what?
You know, to enhance the flow of the game or to
Elaborate.
address certain concerns.
For instance, there's been talk of using video replays
Oh, yeah.
to help referees make more accurate decisions.
Okay.
Similar to what's done in other sports,
Uh-huh.
you know, it could potentially reduce the number of incorrect calls
Right.
and ensure greater fairness.
I like that idea. But we also don't want to disrupt the flow of the game with constant interruptions.
No, that's right.
Finding that right balance will be crucial.
Absolutely. Another area of potential innovation is the use of technology to enhance the fan experience.
Oh, interesting.
We're already seeing virtual reality and augmented reality being used to create immersive experiences for fans.
It's incredible. Imagine being able to experience a match from your favorite player's perspective.
Wow.
Or having access to real-time statistics and analysis during the game.
The possibilities are really exciting.
They are.
Technology has the potential to revolutionize how we watch and interact with soccer.
And it's not just about entertainment either. Technology can play a role in improving player performance and safety as well.
Right, we're seeing the emergence of wearable sensors that track players' movements and exertion levels.
Wow.
Providing valuable data for training and injury prevention.
It's remarkable how advancements in sports, science, and technology are shaping the future of soccer.
It is.
It's a fascinating time to be a fan of the game.
It is.
It's constantly evolving.
Yeah.
And who knows what exciting developments lie ahead.
I can't wait to find out.
Well, we are back for the final part of our deep dive into the world of soccer.
It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
It really has. We have explored so much.
I know.
The history, the rules, the challenges, the future.
Yeah.
It's been a lot.
Before we wrap things up, though, I want to go back to something we touched upon earlier.
Okay.
What is it about soccer that captures the hearts of billions around the world?
Yeah. This book spends some time reflecting on that very question.
It does. The author talks about its universal appeal, how it transcends cultural boundaries and speaks to something deep within us.
Right.
I think it has to do with the simplicity of the game itself. You don't need expensive equipment or specialized facilities, just a ball and a bit of space.
Right.
It's a game that can be enjoyed by anyone, regardless of age, gender, or background.
And it evokes such raw emotion. The exhilaration of a perfectly placed goal, the agony of a last-minute defeat, the camaraderie among the fans.
It's true.
These are experiences that resonate with people on a fundamental level.
Soccer has this incredible ability to bring people together, forging connections through a shared passion.
I agree. Think about the World Cup.
Exactly.
It's an event that captivates the entire globe, transcending political and cultural differences.
It's a powerful reminder of the unifying power of sport.
And speaking of the World Cup, we can't overlook the rise of teams from Africa and Asia.
No, we can't.
It's a shift in the balance of power, challenging the traditional dominance of European and South American nations.
It really injects a new level of excitement and unpredictability into the game.
I think it's inspiring to witness these emerging soccer powerhouses. It's a testament to the global growth of the sport and the incredible talent that exists worldwide.
And of course, we can't forget the incredible rise of women's soccer.
Of course not.
It's a sport that's gaining momentum and captivating audiences around the world.
Yes, the athleticism, the skill, and the determination of these players are truly inspiring.
It speaks volumes about the progress we've made in promoting gender equality in sport.
Yeah.
Though there's still work to be done to ensure equal opportunities and resources for women's soccer at all levels.
Absolutely. We need to keep pushing for those changes. But as we wrap up this deep dive, I really want to leave our listeners with a sense of wonder and possibility.
I like that. What do you mean?
Well, this deep dive has been a fascinating exploration of soccer's past, present, and future.
It has.
But the beauty of the game lies in its constant evolution.
That's right. Who knows what amazing developments are on the horizon?
I know, right?
New technologies, groundbreaking strategies, and incredible athletes are waiting to emerge.
It's true. So, for anyone listening, we encourage you to continue exploring the world of soccer.
Yes, go watch a local match, learn more about your favorite player, read more about the game's history and its impact on society.
You never know what you might discover. Maybe this deep dive has sparked a newfound appreciation for the sport.
Or maybe it's deepened your existing passion.
Either way, we hope this deep dive has left you with a sense of wonder and excitement for the beautiful game. A game that continues to captivate and inspire billions around the world.
Me too.